So my name is Joe Millspaw Jr. I live in Knox County, Indiana. I live in Vincennes. I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather. I've been in public service for 22 years, 13 years with the Coroner's office, 12 of which as chief deputy under 3 different administrations. And I've currently work with the Good Samaritan Hospital EMS as an educator and field supervisor. After those 22 years of public service, 13 years of which in the coroner's office, I've realized it's not about me. It's about the loved ones. It's about the ones that we've lost. I'm here for them. Just like my campaign statement states, it's their story, we help them tell it. I'm truly here for them and their story. I'm working with the health department and the county council and the commissioners to bring a proactive Drive Alive program to Knox County. It's a distracted driving program for not only adolescents and adults. I'm also working with the county council and the commissioners to find us a permanent home. We don't have an office. So that's my next step.
Well, my name is Dent, and I am running for county coroner. I grew up here in Knox County, Wheatland specifically. My dad actually retired from Vincennes University, and my mom has worked the majority of her career as a nurse at Good Samaritan Hospital. I graduated from South Knox High School, and I received my undergraduate degree in nursing from Vincennes University. I then moved on to the University of Southern Indiana and got my master's degree as a nurse practitioner. I have worked the majority of my career in trauma and emergency medicine. I'm married. We have 3 children, all of whom attend South Knox. And then when I'm not practicing medicine, I enjoy helping my husband operate our 2 small businesses that we have here in the county. There are multiple reasons why I'm running for office. The most important reason, though, is my passion for this community. As a nurse practitioner in emergency medicine, I've been the one that's been at the bedside with individuals that have lost loved ones due to accidents, unexpected death. And I have been the one that's had to tell people, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister are not coming home. And while doing so, I have always exercised the compassion, the empathy, and the professionalism that's necessary when dealing with someone that's grieving. After hearing some previous interactions with the coroner's office, I knew it was time to utilize those skills that I've developed to make a positive impact with those families. So my vision is to, again, provide empathetic, professional, compassionate care to the individuals of this community. I also will maintain a competent relationship with all police and fire departments, forensic pathologists, and funeral directors. I also have a vision to have the coroner's office as more visible in the community. I want to take a more proactive approach to accidental death. So I would like to incorporate some in programs in the community, and I would also like to go to area schools and other various events and speak about different things such as mental health that can lead to suicide, overdose, things of that, how the lack of seatbelts and helmets can greatly increase the risk of fatality in motor vehicle accidents and other injuries.
My name is Sher. I am the Public Relations Director for the Family Health Center here in Vincennes. Why I'm running for County Commissioner is a lot of different things, but I feel I'm most qualified for this position because Roads and bridges are important to a commissioner, and I have 20 years experience with the Indiana Department of Transportation. The last 8 of those were as the public relations person, so I was spending a lot of time working with property owners, local elected officials, state level officials, and even U.S. senators and congressmen, as well as the governor. So I feel that it's important to listen to our constituents. And then another reason why I feel I'm qualified for this position is the last 3 years I've been working with the mental health division of the hospital and family health. And so I love being able to share the message about that. As far as one measurable goal, I don't have that. I have multiple goals I would like to achieve. I would like to see us continue the great paving projects that we've had here in Knox County. I mean, Vincennes is doing a lot, and we see that every day, but we've paved a lot of roads here in Knox County, and that's part of some grants that the state matches, and we hope to be able to continue to do that and have a system where we rate our roads so that way we know which ones need to be addressed first, and make sure that we are constantly reviewing those, because sometimes we have issues that may arise and cause a need for payment earlier than what we originally anticipated. So having that scoring mechanism and an overall short-term and long-range plan is something I think is very important. I also want to continue to grow the services for mental health here in Knox County. My job has been to help share the message about the programs and services that are available here, and my passion for helping others leads me to wanting to do that on a higher level. And as a commissioner, we are charged with helping make sure there's quality programs and services and getting the patients there to receive those services, because as we know, mental health is not necessarily something we like to talk about, but it's just as important as any other medical condition.
Hi, I'm TJ Brink, and I'm running for re-election for County Commissioner in District 1. My wife Keela and I have been married for the last 27 years, and between us we have our wonderful daughter Briley, who's a veterinary technician in Lexington, Kentucky at a place called MedVet, which is an animal hospital. We're also getting ready to have a new son-in-law join our family in September. She'll be marrying Ryan Turner, who's from Kentucky. We have also 2 dogs and a grand cat named Astro. I'm running for re-election because not only we've had a really great last 4 years, but there are some really great opportunities ahead of us here in Knox County. I'm one of those glass half full guys, and I truly think that Knox County's best days are still ahead of us. We have some really, while good things have happened in the last 4 years, we have some really great opportunities moving forward. First of all, our road infrastructure. We have been very successful at getting the CCMG grant money. This year we were awarded $1.5 million. One of the things that we're doing a little bit different in District 1 is preservation. And we have a very solid preservation plan moving forward, where not only are we crack sealing, but we're also adding liquid road as well as micro paving to our forte of things that we're doing. Doing those simple things, we can add the life of expectancy to that road by double. And that will save us a tremendous amount of money on paving in the future. We've got to start somewhere. We have to have that base, but moving in the future, it's going to save us a tremendous amount of money. We've also been very fortunate and very lucky to have been awarded some of the other grant monies where we're going to add to our housing stock. It's no secret that Knox County has a housing stock issue, but we've been very successful. Chris Foff over at the KCIDC and his team have done a great job promoting Knox County. We have some great opportunities, but we have to have some housing stock. And so I think you're going to start seeing in the next couple of years that housing stock improve, that middle income housing improve. but we also have to do a great job, not just a better job, but a great job of bringing new industry and businesses to Knox County. We've seen this last year where we lost a lot of coal mine jobs. We have to replace those somehow. And that's one of the things that we really have got to hone in on and really laser focus on those things. So we have a lot of opportunities ahead of us in Knox County, and I really want to be a part of that. This past year, we started with crack sealing. Everything starts with crack sealing. If you don't take care of those larger cracks, they become potholes. That freeze and thaw expansion contrast just wreaks havoc. Everyone knows that water is the absolute worst enemy of asphalt. So we have to do a great job of preserving those roads.
Hi, I'm Tim Ellerman. I'll be running for Commissioner in District 2. Honestly, I never wanted to be in politics before. Kind of having kids, young kids and stuff like that, you're just busy, never really think about it too much until a few years ago I got into, noticed my property taxes jumped up tremendously. And I got to looking into more into that, and the more you look into it, the more it kind of opens your eyes to how things are really going on in the county and stuff like that. And there's still a lot to learn in the area, being a commissioner in politics and learning what goes on with what the commissioners do and stuff like that, or with any other branch of the political world. But then I started looking into like how property taxes are spent, things like that, and I've talked to several different people that, like I had a guy call me the other night, and his landlord had called him and let him know that they're going to be increasing his rent just due to the property tax increase because they couldn't afford to do it themselves. I mean, all the landlords can't afford to eat the cost themselves, and then that puts it on the renters and stuff like that. And I know Jenny and I, my wife and I, she runs a daycare here in town, and we just sold one of her. we got lucky enough to consolidate into one building, and we sold one of our houses, and the people renting out was renting out for $1,100 a month. Just a little 2-bedroom, 1,500 square foot house, and they were renting out for $1,100 a month. To me, paying that much in rent is absurd, honest. And then you look at our property taxes keep increasing, and all we're doing is pushing it off on people that can't really afford it. I mean, if they could afford to buy a house, they wouldn't be renting. And then here you're paying $1,100 a month for a 2-bedroom house, and then hard telling what they're going to increase their rent to. Then kind of the property tax is a big thing to me. That kind of opened my eyes to kind of the political world and then finding out kind of there's a lot that goes on to where they spend the money at, stuff like that. And then another reason I wanted to run, because I want to try to open the meetings back up to the public. I know right now you have to call the county attorney and ask permission to speak with the commissioners, and who's to say that if they don't deem it worthy enough cause to speak to the commissioners, that they even get to meet with the commissioners. I mean, we are serving the public, and that's what we're here for. And if you got closed meetings at 10 o'clock on Tuesday mornings, which most working people can't make, and then you got to schedule an appointment with an attorney or the county attorney to even possibly be heard in the commissioners meeting, I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to speak your opinion if you had something come up, whether it be culverts or roads, whatever may be going on in the jail. Old National Bank's been a hot topic here lately. My opponent actually was kind of pushing to buy the Old National Bank, which it would have been, I can't remember exactly the exact numbers they were going to buy, they bought it for, but 2 months later it increased. They were trying to make a profit of $349,000 on it, and that would be something the taxpayers would have to eat. And to me, that's a lot of money. I mean, to buy a building that's kind of outdated, and then you got to turn around and put $5 million plus in it just to get it to where they could use it. Kind of absurd to me, honestly. But property taxes, meetings, and then another big topic was making sure that the Knox County is divided in 3 districts, and then making sure, well, I've talked to a few farmers and stuff like that over the last several months, and they were talking about how their equipment's getting larger and larger, and then the roads and the bridges aren't really set up for that size of equipment. Mainly like the culverts to get in their fields and stuff like that aren't big enough to get in, particularly right down to my area, about a mile from my house. Guy's having trouble getting his tractor and stuff in there, and it took a year for him to get the culvert put in to where he could get his new equipment brought in the fields. That's a concern for me, and just making sure tax money stays where the people pay. I mean, my taxes went up. I have the exact amounts over there, but it was astronomical what my assessed value went up. And then I know everybody's went up, but it'd be nice to have some kind of fiscal, just kind of be careful where you're spending your money at, and make sure the money stays where you pay taxes at and stuff like that. So those are the big 3 things. I mean, there's a lot to learn, and I mean, there's no book you can read to prepare yourself for this type of stuff. If that was the case, I could read all the books I wanted. But it's going to be a learning process. But the meetings, the property taxes, and where the money's spent at, and then the obviously the roads, and making sure the taxpayers' money stays with it in the districts they pay for and stuff like that, and improves their roads and stuff. The 3 big things are, first, opening up the meetings to the public. I don't think, when Dad was in politics, and I think the county council is still like this, the meetings were in the evenings. They could open up, the general public could walk in. Now, I don't know if they had a sign-in sheet or something like that to see if they wanted to speak about different topics or what was going to be brought up. But I would like to change the meetings to the afternoons and open them up to the public where you don't have to try to get a hold of an attorney, because I know what I like to get a hold of an attorney is you have to leave a message, and you might get lucky enough to call you back, might not. Meetings are a big thing, opening up to the public. Obviously the roads, making sure the taxpayers' money stays in the districts they pay. And then trying to do something about controlling spending, wasteful spending of our tax dollars and property tax money. Those are 3 big things that I want to kind of focus on and try to tighten the belt a little bit when it comes to all that.
Hi, my name is Trent Hinkle. I've grown up in Knox County on a family farm out past the end of Main Street Road, and my mom still lives there, my brothers and sister, and my brothers and I take care of the family farm. Why am I running for office? Because I believe Knox County deserves the best that we can have. And since coming into office the first time, one of the promises I made was that the commissioners and the council would work together instead of separately. And we've done exactly that. We have a very good working relationship with the county council, and therefore we've been able to accomplish a lot of things that were not accomplished before because we cooperate. We don't see eye to eye, but we make a decision and we go with it, and everybody's on board. And that's been a great thing to have. There are other counties and municipalities that are actually jealous of us because of that relationship. So one of the things we've been working on for my entire time in office, and we haven't been able to push it over the edge yet, is we want better insurance for the employees of county government. Currently, if you're an employee and you try to bring a spouse or a child onto your insurance, it's outrageously expensive. And so we have a plan moving forward. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get there, and I want to help because I've been behind the scenes working on that to finish that and push it over the goal line so that we can have younger people actually come and work for the county because the insurance is not going to hurt them. Another thing I want to finish is we've started on the space study, and we've completed that, and that's the needs for the offices and departments within county government. And now that we have community corrections moved out to their new building, and the jail is pretty much finished, so it's time to really knuckle down and figure out space for all the other departments, and it's going to take several months into next year to finish that and get construction bids let and finish that project. So that's another thing I want to see through to completion, because I worked very hard for the past 7 years to get rid of all the junk that was in storage in county space so that we could tear down buildings we didn't need more, that were the roof was leaking. And so that's been a very passionate thing that I've wanted to do. I've done a lot of it, and we need to push it past the goal line.
My name is Brett Dawson. I'm running for the county council at large. I'm running for office because, well, currently I'm sitting on the town board of Wheatland, and we have some projects going on there. We worked with the county on a few different instances, and just came in my mind, maybe I can jump up to the county council spot, you know, a little bit more to do there, and help a greater area of the county besides just, you know, the town of Wheatland. You know, Wheatland will still be included in that area, but help more people out. Well, the council, you know, is involved with budgets, taxes, things like that, financial stuff. So definitely want to take a hard look at the budgets. You know, over the course of the years, I've had some questions myself, and also people have asked me some questions just because I'm on the town board and they assume I know everything in the county as well. But it's and take a hard look at the taxes. You always see taxes getting added, but you never hear of them being lowered at the county local level, or even removed on some.
Hi, I'm Deon Grove, and I am a lifelong Knox County resident. I graduated from South Knox High School in 2018, and then from Indiana University School of Public and Environmental Affairs in 2023, where I graduated with a Bachelor's of Public Affairs, where I studied law and public policy. Whenever I decided to run for office, it took a little bit of convincing. You know, I'm not the typical candidate. I am a little bit younger than anybody else that is running. So I've always been interested in politics, and it was always something that I knew that I was eventually going to run for office. But I never expected to do it at my current age. But after a little bit of convincing from some of my mentors, I realized that I'm at the perfect age to run for office. You see, I'm looking for a place to settle down and spend the rest of my life. And why not do that in my birthplace? There are so many options of places to live that people try to escape to or try to create a new start. Why not create a new start in your own hometown and your own community? So I decided that now is the perfect time for me to be able to shape the community that I want to live in. So that is why I am running for office. If I'm elected, I would like to improve Knox County's infrastructure, improve the quality of life in Knox County. We really have a great county that we live in already, but I would just like to take steps to improve it and make it a more desirable place for those that are looking for a fresh start, those that are looking to come back home, just make it a better place to live in general.
My name is John Hillenbrand, and I am the Chief of Police for the City of Vincennes. And I am not originally from Knox County. I grew up in Vigo County in Terre Haute and went through the school corporation there, graduated from Terre Haute North, then went on to Indiana State University where I achieved a degree in criminology and business administration. After graduating from ISU, that's actually what the time that I came to Knox County and started working at the Southwest Indiana Regional Youth Village. And I worked there for 6 years. 9/11 happened, September 11, 2001, and I had always wanted to get into law enforcement, but I really enjoyed working at the youth village, so I just continued my career there until that time. And then I thought, you know what, I just turned 30 and I thought, if I'm gonna do it, I need to do it now. And so Vincennes was hiring, I went through the process, and 21 years ago, I became a police officer. During that time, I rose through the ranks, became sergeant, and was on different shifts. I've also been a detective where I've investigated major crimes here in the city of Vincennes. I was also the school resource officer at Lincoln High School, which I probably must say, if I was going to be honest, was my favorite job, including being chief of police. That was a fantastic job. So 3 years ago, I became chief and took over the department after an unfortunate time at our department. And I have really enjoyed being chief. Probably in the last 3 years, we have hired about half the amount of officers on the department. We had 38 officers up until this year on the department, excuse me. And I've hired 20 of those officers, and we've also taken over the schools, and now we are working towards putting a officer in every school with the VCSC as well as the Catholic school system. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Holly, who works for Children and Family Services. We've been married for 27 years this year. We have two amazing daughters, Ashlyn and Alyssa. Ashlyn's getting ready to graduate from Wittenberg University with a degree in biology, and then moving on to Washington University in St. Louis, where she will be obtaining her doctorate degree in OT. And my youngest daughter, Alyssa, she is at the University of Kentucky, living her best life, and is completing her freshman year, and she is currently studying communications. So I am one of the few people that did not grow up here, but actually chose to come to Knox County and work and raise my family here. So I definitely have very strong feelings for this community. It's a great question because I am very busy right now in everything I have going on at work as well as in my personal life. However, there are a number of different things that the county council as well as the commissioners, are going to be dealing with in the very near future. One of those is the juvenile detention center, the youth village, closed, and now there is no place locally or even in our surrounding counties to place dangerous juveniles who've committed some pretty heinous crimes. And so that is going to be a big hot topic of what we do with them. And I have a lot of experience in that area. So also communication-wise with Central Dispatch 911, we are looking at combining the Vincennes Police Dispatch and Central 911 just to make it more effective and efficient for the citizens of Knox County. And there's just a lot of different things that are going to be going on in our county at our government level that I have a lot of experience in. I'm also a very good listener, and I get out and speak to lots of people and am always willing to bend my ear, listen to the concerns, and then bring those concerns up in that environment, which could potentially help remedy some of those issues. Yes, I would definitely like to accomplish being very fiscally responsible. Obviously, as the chief of police, I oversee a pretty large budget. It's just under $4 million. While at the youth village, I worked within 6 different budgets as a manager there, and I have always treated those budgets as if they were my own money and never spent frivolously, and also invested in those things that were best for that specific department or operation. So I really want to focus on the things that I had mentioned, as well as the staff at our county employees, because they are a huge asset and they need to be well taken care of. So those would be the things that I would definitely bring to the table.
Hi, I'm Mike Jacob, and I'm running for County Council. I'm running for office because when we moved to Knox County, we didn't know anybody, and the people in the county have been so good and so gracious to us, and we wanted to give back, my family and I think I've got the skill set through my business experience to really contribute to the development of the county and effective administration of it. If elected, I want to make sure that Knox County is being ran as effectively and efficiently as possible, and that means getting off in the weeds on all the details. How are we spending money? What are we spending money on? Is there technology we could adopt that could make us a better place to live and a more efficiently ran organization?
Hi everybody, I'm Tony Mcarter, running for Knox County Council at large position as a Republican. I'm from Knox County, lived in Knox County my entire life, worked in Knox County almost my entire life, except for 20 years I spent at Toyota. Politics is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. And when I heard that Harry Nolting, Dave Collop weren't running again, I thought this would be a good time to try it out and continue the good work that they've done and the entire county council have done. Hopefully we can continue that. I'm very supportive of the police, the fire department, soft spot for the animal shelter, particularly drug enforcement, drug rehabilitation. I like the rehab shelters that we've got going, very successful. The LAMP program, Life After Meth, seems to be very successful. I'd like to look at other things that can help us improve all of that.
Kevin Meyer. I live out of Monroe City. I've been on the farm my whole life. Lived in town when I first got married for for about 6 months there on St. Clair Street. About drove me nuts with the traffic and the noise, so back out to Harrison Township I went. I always give back. I'm a good volunteer. I think, you know, I miss politics. I enjoy politics. That's what I've done for the last 12 years with the company I work for. I've gone to all the surrounding county council meetings, commissioners meetings. I know pretty much all the mayors. That's what I've done for a living, is called on those people. So I think I bring in a lot of value to the table, and especially with, you know, we got two council members that's coming off. I think that'd be a good spot to fit right in there and just be ready to go the first day. I don't want to make promises like that. I mean, most people won't, and I won't either. I want to do what's right for our community, for our county. I am proud of the fact that I do live out in the county. I am a past county commissioner, so I bring in, you know, I think I know the bridges, I know the roads, I know how the ditches and the drainage works and stuff, so I really no promises. I think we've done a good job in the past, and I just want to keep that going on in the future.
My name's Dan Meyer, and I'm presently on the Knox County Council, and I'd like to be reelected to the Knox County Council, as I am presently the Vice President of the Council. So I've had a little experience with what has gone on in the past almost 4 years now. When I was elected in 2020, it was a big learning experience, and I think it takes a year or so to even learn what the council actually does. I've been involved in the talks with the safety local income tax that was passed, which also supplied our county with an ambulance service that was much needed, which went along with, also gave raises to our local law enforcement. And those meetings took quite a while because we had to work together with the county and the city of Vincennes, the city of Bicknell, and all other entities that are involved with safety. So it was a little bit of a chore, but we got through that. We made it. We have a good ambulance service. We have been able to retain some of our law enforcement officers along with fire departments with much needed boosts where they weren't leaving the area again. Along with the idea of being on the council, I am also on the Knox County Redevelopment Commission, which supplies monies from the Duke Energy power plant at Edwardsport from their taxes and gets distributed throughout the northern Knox County area, and has a lot of good improvements for the town of Edwardsport, Bicknell, the County Fair Board, and North Knox High School, as well as all the surrounding areas up there. So I feel like I've been involved enough that I can help in the future, and I hope people will continue to vote for me. To keep those same things going. Right now, our biggest problem is juvenile detention. As some people know, some people may not know, our local juvenile detention area has been closed. And our juveniles that were held there have been shipped all over the county, or all over the state. And it's going to cost quite a bit more money to get them back and forth to their court dates or whatever. And we're working now trying to find a solution that not only involves us, but all the local counties around us. Big thing is the juvenile detention right now. That is the biggest thing on the board. We've got our jail expanded, that's worked well, and our work release has just opened today. And the juvenile detention is a really, really big deal. I don't know if people realize how big it is, but that is the biggest thing I'd like to see accomplished in this next term.